be like, and the only way that that's going to decrease is with technology, and that's going to come with time. So in my opinion, like every year it's going to get, they're going to find like a better converter. Or I don't know, whatever they put in fridges that's going to be efficient. So I feel yes, it's like a big thing to look forward to, but I don't think we can change it unless with time.
I feel like it would have to be people taking the initiative to do
well,
it right now, but like laundry and stuff, like don't do laundry every day.
Yeah, I know people like that. They'll
like
literally
that,
put it on for like 2 hours and throw it in. I'm like, we're wearing it a couple times, bro. Come on. You gotta,
like I think like we need people to realize that they need to take charge of their future, but actually everyone just notice about their profit.
Yeah.
Care about their future.
there has to be more responsibility for like you have to like, I don't know. One thing is I work in food industry. I'm just gonna compare it to this, but like something as before I worked in the food industry, you didn't realize what like how you acted would look to like people who work there. Like a lot of stuff customers do is like taboo in the food industry, and like you'll pick it up, like you'll notice, and that's the thing. Like we had to transition to like every time you put a hot pocket in the microwave, we're burning like the coal. Like we don't think about that, and there's. Like it's America. We take everything for granted. Like it's always been put the problems and put them off till tomorrow and stuff like that. And that's I think where we need to change.
I also think people just don't even realize. Some people probably don't even know, and then some people just don't realize how serious the crisis is. And I think maybe the government should do more to educate the population about, hey, this is what's going on. You need to fix this now. You need to take initiative now.
So like what we're talking right now is like movement from gasoline to electricity and like to save those electricities, right? But like electricity, we have to make it up, right?
Yeah.
Like so to talk about plants, like that should be renewable too, right?
Well, coal technically is a renewable resource. It's not. It's not in our time frame. It takes too long, and there's I don't know. Like, what else would be considered?
For like best way to generate electricity.
Yeah.
Like, people just keep coming out. Like solar. Like when it actually came out first, like when like the sun power is like 100, only like 7% was like converted into energy.
Yeah,
so which is like really not inefficient. So
I think gas gas in a car is like only like 20-something% efficient.
It's very small.
Yeah,
a
like
really efficient car gets about 35%.
Yeah, which is
that's the highest we can reach for.
And I think the Audi fuel that was made recently was 70% fuel consumption or something ridiculous. Which is like
huge.
Yeah, so
Audi's gonna roll.
That's what I'm saying. They're waiting for it to be picked up, and it's already. And they said they're pricing it cheaper than what gasoline is in UK. So it's definitely no reason for you not to buy. It's more efficient and it's renewable, 100% renewable. I think they have to use water, but I don't know how that would work. I don't know if they use water, but that's kind of like I guess they could do like steam vapor or something like that, where they probably get to pretty much like pretty renewable. So what do we want to go next? Where do we want to take this?
So do you talk about the most important areas we feel need to be changed? Yeah, so like more dependent on electricity and just saving the rate. 3 or some way we can make changes in efficiency.
I think one area we really need to improve upon, which is kind of gets left out every now and then. Since I'm an engineer or aerospace engineer, it's like really fascinating to me. But one flight of a Boeing 787 from New York to London burns enough energy to supply 1,000 homes in China for about a month.
So
yeah, so that's like one-way flight. So if you do that,
so I always figured like when you commute together you save cost. Like if you all take the bus, it's cheaper. So it's not the sense it's just quicker in the sense that airplane. It's not a more efficient way of traveling other than in fact time is quicker in time.
It's well with the 787, it's such a huge aircraft that it's gonna burn a lot, but I mean, it'll still, if you flew individually, like if you flew like a jet or something, it's gonna cost more overall. So like the mass traveling is still saving, like it's still saving overall on the amount that you're using because you're making less flights. It's still burning a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, so there's different areas that we can improve, like turboprop engines, which are the ones with the fans, are much more efficient than jet engines are.
Really?
Yeah, they're vastly more efficient.
I thought so. We've gone backwards at times.
Yeah, which is it's becoming it's one of the huge
Well, I mean,
areas
the
of study
Cessnas.
now.
You think about Cessnas, they're like a small 50 horsepower engine.
Yeah.
That makes sense. They're more efficient.
Yeah, so it's one of the areas that companies are looking into because the aerospace industry is completely changing now. It's not higher, faster, bigger, longer anymore. It's just how can we make it more fuel efficient. So one of the areas that you're probably going to actually see more now is that there's going to be less jet engines in the future. So like I don't know if they'll be able to implement it with like a 787 or something because it's so big. You might need the jet engine power, but if we could somehow switch it to turboprop engines, then it would save a ton of fuel, which I think is one area we definitely need to look into.
That's good. Yeah, most people really don't even think about planes when they think about.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I'm
didn't
an
even
aerospace
consider that,
engineer.
yeah.
I didn't even think about
Oh,
it.
it does. At least in the Army or Air Force and stuff. They have like the C-47s or I don't know, C-74s. But they're big, huge planes. I think some of them have like propellers on. So I feel like you could probably get the thrust required to.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point.
They're probably like carrying on the tanks and stuff.
Yeah.
You know? So I feel like it can be done if it is more efficient. I don't know much about it.
Yeah, I mean, I have research, but it's on my laptop, which is recording. So.
We sort of like talking about. I was like, really wanted to bring up like nuclear energy right now, because like in terms of efficiency, it's like
What is he?
nuclear energy, like in terms.
Because I have two. I actually live right next to power plants back
Oh,
home.
really?
Yeah, they're like.
Yeah, like.
I'm the first Monday of every month. Like the sirens go off right by my house.
Oh,
we're
really?
in the blast zone. Like I'm done, guys. We're out there. Like it's over.
Well, how do you guys think of it? Like, I mean,
Honestly, they say you just get used to it. To be honest, like it's just like something in the sky that you see. Like I don't know if I'm getting radiated. I don't know, probably not. But like every time a siren goes off, you're like, oh, make sure you check your watch. Oh, it's Monday. Thank God it's 2:00. We're good. Because yeah, you always kind of think about it, but not really. It's just like something that's there, and I always thought it was safe. And like I've been there for like 11, 12 years, nothing's happened.
Yeah.
But then again, you have 3 Mile Island in Pennsylvania, also where something did happen, which also can kind of freak you out.
You always have to like the
Like the what
risk.
ifs. Yeah.
But like it's like I heard like one uranium cell powers your home for like 3 months. That's like a lot. So
Yeah, it's
I mean, it's really efficient, but like we always have to live with the risk of like.
Wasn't wasn't the two risks I heard? Is like a leak happening or it's like the waste, like treatment of waste.
Right. Both. Yeah.
And that's like, what is like? Do you know any of the issues with waste and stuff like?
The waste like.
Because I know does it?
I think
It has a long like life, but it does.
It does,
go away.
but it's like the next generation.
Like so it's.
Yeah.
Do you know how long it is, Chris?
I think the shortest amount it takes is like 30 years.
30
That's
years.
like, I don't know what materials are like that, but that's like the one that'll get rid of it the fastest.
Right.
It's like 30 years. So I mean, like a big problem is you need to put it somewhere, but there's no place to put it because I mean you can't just throw it in a mine because something happens down there. You gotta
have
put
some influence for the environment.
Exactly.
They were actually thinking of like putting it into a spaceship and just.
Really?
Yeah, that's actually what the science are thinking about.
Yeah.
Because they're full of like
Someone
they're
else's
full of
problem.
reactors in the universe.
Right.
I think that's cost a lot, right?
Yeah, it costs a lot.
I don't know if anyone has seen the movie. It's called like Sahara or something, but like there was some solar power plant and something in the middle, and there's like a lot of people getting sick in the Sahara Desert, and like this team of scientists goes in, and there's a bunch of people putting nuclear waste in like the ground, and it's like leaking into like an underground water source, and it's like spreading throughout. Everyone's drinking the water, but it's something like that. It's just like.
Right.
That's very possible.
It's like
Yeah.
how
it's always
it's like
possible.
America could do it correctly, but Iran and stuff and North Korea, like,
Mhm.
how do we handle something as dangerous as it?
Yeah, I
Like
think it's
that.
really, really dangerous.
Is?
I mean, even look at that reactor that went off in Japan. I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that went into the ocean. So I mean, there's no.
Yeah, they're still
Yeah.
suffering. Like
Yeah.
recently, we saw like a news like 200 dolphins just were dead, found dead.
I saw it too, and they said it was linked to something to do with earthquakes
Oh really?
messing up the electromagnetic
Okay.
waves,
Whoa.
and since dolphins rely on that stuff,
Oh okay.
they commit
So it's,
suicide and
it's
stuff.
not.
No, but it's been
Right?
noticed because
Okay.
they've had instances where like earthquakes and tsunamis have happened. There'll be like dolphins washing up on shore and shit before that's
Right.
happened. Yeah, it's weird.
Okay.
It's like nature is weird, dude. Like that's
I'm
what
sure
it
there's
is.
a bunch of fishes are being influenced by the radiation, and actually people are okay to eat those fish, but the people just don't know it, so they refuse to buy it, and it's really do some like harm to the people who live on fish.
So it's okay to
Yeah, it is okay actually. It's not really do harm to people's body, but people
What?
just don't know.
The radioactive fishes.
Yeah, actually
Oh, yeah.
it's not that like
Because
it's
I
not
know
that
you're not.
radiate. Yeah, people are okay to eat it.
It's just like it should have a stop line.
Wait, it's not recording.
Alright, yeah, we're good. We're still going.
Yeah,
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
20 minutes.
So like people are afraid about something just because they don't know about it.
That's true.
That's crazy economy.
Yeah, so like renewable energies. Like you talked about Sahara, right? Have you guys actually heard of like Desert Tech project?
No.
Like it's like the world's most like largest project like plan ever. It's like
Solar power.
yeah, like
Is it
all
somewhere
that.
in
Sahara.
Yeah. Okay.
Like they're paying like 700 billion.
yeah.
It's equal to like you can buy the company Apple with their money. Like they're putting that much of money into the project, and like their plan is like on like the north of the Africa. They're like it's huge. They're putting like all like renewable plants like the solar energies and the wind and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And their plan is to supply like all the Africa with that energy, and also the like all the top, cause like Africa and Europe's are here, right?
Yeah.
Like all the Europe companies are like paying for this because like eventually they expect to get all of their energy from that project. So like it's a like I don't know 20 or 30 years like planned project, but like the scale is really really big. And
Well, yeah, the Sahara Desert, you can't do much with it. You know,
Yeah.
making use of land.
yeah, I think it's a good project, but it's like it's none of that the power plants are like affecting like those environments. Like all their planning is like eco-friendly
Mm-hmm.
plants. So yeah, I hope that works out. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Could buy Apple with that. So like, let's jump on.
Yeah. What are the trade-offs? Is there any trade-offs? In going to a more efficient environment, like what could we think of a reason why being more energy efficient isn't the right answer?
It's always an inconvenience, maybe like human
Yeah.
nature.
So is that like we're saying it's like human nature is just to be lazy and stuff, like we're all about being
Be like that's convenient.
Yeah.
And right now it's inconvenient. And it'll probably be more expensive starting off, which is probably why a lot of people haven't really jumped on board.
Right.
But
So it always comes down to money.
yeah, it's all money.
That's literally like if we had all the money in the world, we could fix it.
Yeah, it is. Sure. Yeah.
I mean, even just like changing infrastructure and stuff. Like say somehow we manage to get away from gasoline. Now we gotta change all these gas stations
Some
over.
electric pumps or something.
Yeah, it's gotta all be changed. That's a ton of money being pumped through the whole
Mhm.
country. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool to think about, but it's just so daunting.
Yeah, like human.
How do you go
Some
about
of
like
those
Tesla? I
things
know like Tesla's coming. A lot of states aren't allowing like Teslas to sell vehicles there because it's like infringing on the money they're gonna make. Because like Tesla wants to keep their car selling with Tesla, like